It's one of the few regrets of my presidency that the rancor and suspicion between the parties has gotten worse instead of better. I have no doubt a president with the gifts of Lincoln or Roosevelt might have better bridged the divide. And I guarantee I'll keep trying to be better so long as I hold this office.
Breaking tonight, the White House is now offering a new reason for why President Obama is skipping the funeral of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He will pay his respects when the justice's body lies in repose tomorrow. Hours ago, Press Secretary Josh Earnest suggesting that sending the vice president instead will be better for everyone.
Why wouldn't he just go to the funeral to do that?
Well, as I also noted yesterday, Vice President Biden, who is somebody that had his own personal relationship with Justice Scalia and his family, will be representing the administration at the funeral. Obviously, when the vice president travels someplace, his security footprint is at least a little bit lighter.
Charles, good to see you. So first it was no answer, repeatedly no answer, and finally they've settled on there's a smaller security footprint with the vice president.
That is such obvious nonsense that it shows they aren't even trying. That translates as the president is saying, I'm the king, I'm the president, I'm a lame duck, I don't have to run for re-election. I do what I want. I want to go to Havana at the time when our foreign policy is collapsing all over the world. Sure, I'm going to go to Havana. He doesn't care. And he doesn't want to spend a Saturday in a pew listening to speeches about how great a jurist Scalia was when Obama believes sincerely that everything Scalia argued for was wrong and harmful to the republic. So he's going to stay home, and he doesn't care how it looks and what other people think. If there is a political reason other than a personal one of just a preference and pique, it is that he's going to be nominating a justice to replace Scalia, who will be the antithesis of Scalia, who will be somebody who will want to undo the 30-year legacy of Scaliaism. And he doesn't particularly want a photo op in which those speeches in praise of Scalia, in praise of the way he controlled and constrained executive power, i.e. Obama.
That's partisan. That's a partisan concern. I mean, today in RealClearPolitics.com, Charles Lipson put it this way. He said, you don't get to wear your partisan hat here, Mr. President. He said, you have a duty. He said, this is shameful. He said, it is your duty to mourn a man who sat on the Supreme Court for decades. He's shirking that duty. Talking about how on these somber, formal occasions, the president is called upon to represent our country. And every president in history, we did the research yesterday, as far as I can find, has always attended the funeral of a sitting Supreme Court justice. This is unprecedented, what he's about to do.
You are surprised that Obama is being partisan, that he's not rising to the majesty of the office, that he's actually acting on personal animus, which I suspect he probably has.
He promised in his last year in office that was going to be the thing he would tackle, the pettiness of our politics, the smallness of it.
President Obama will not be attending the funeral of former First Lady Nancy Reagan, and some people are calling him out for the reason why, saying it's petty. Obama will be attending the South by Southwest Festival that day. He will be giving a scheduled speech at the Technology and Leadership Conference. The Obamas had announced their participation in the South by Southwest Festival 4 days before the former First Lady passed away from congestive heart failure. First Lady Michelle Obama is expected to attend Mrs. Reagan's funeral, who will be buried at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. For Viewer, I'm Sloan Glass.